Hello, everyone. Coming up next here on the Pro Wrestling Show, as you see right here, the White Rabbit. Who we've been getting like Easter egg clues on what the White Rabbit could be. We're getting clues out of the woodwork on who this White Rabbit is, and many people are indicating who the White Rabbit could be. We'll talk about it coming up, as well as the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, returns to action on SmackDown to take on Otis in a big man versus big man match in a way. We'll get to the latest on that and what's going on with that, as well as the head of the table, the current WWE Universal Undisputed Champion, Roman Reigns, makes an appearance. Roman Reigns kicks off SmackDown in a big way, in a big way fashion. What does Roman agenda is and what does he has in store for the bloodline? All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show, here on the after show. And thank you for watching. Like I said, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and scan. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get to, but I said like this. Roman Reigns, the undisputed Universal Champion, makes a rare appearance on SmackDown. Once again from last week, he's making his appearances to count on, to count back. Roman makes his appearance as well. Well, plus two, we get to talk about Braun Strowman returning to in-ring action against Otis. We'll talk about that, as well as could we be seeing what's going on with Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre on their collision heading towards the Extreme Rules. We'll get to it in a minute. Also, too, coming up in Hot Topics, we'll talk about what's going on, the latest in wrestling with John Cena making the Guinness Book World Record for Make-A-Wish. We'll talk about that coming up. All right, let's get started with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, makes another return appearance on SmackDown at the last week's edition. Roman Reigns is scheduled to meet Logan Paul at Crown Jewel for the Undisputed Championship. But Roman Reigns had a lot to get off his chest. Roman Reigns, flanked by Special Counsel Paul Heyman, the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Usos, the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa, and the person that's kind of like the Us in, I guess, Sami Zayn, what you want to call him, Sami Zayn, just honorary Uso. Well, Roman Reigns held court as him and Paul Heyman talked about their on what's going to happen. And we tell you, Roman Reigns making mean business. Roman Reigns mean business in one way or another. Roman Reigns talking to yeah. No, I'm doing the show. Roman Reigns getting yeah, I'm good. You good? What you saying? Okay, Roman Reigns getting his glory on and talked about what he's going to do to Sami Zayn. Well, not Sami Zayn, but Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. And I think Paul Heyman made mention of it too, that Logan Paul don't have a you know what to get the job done. But we thought that there was gonna be some tension between Roman and Soa. Roman wanted Soa to acknowledge him, and Soa did acknowledge him. Soa did so in the clips. Well, it became when Sami Zayn wanted to say he acknowledged Roman, and things got a little bit awkward as Roman told Sami to take off his shirt. We thought Sami Zayn was gonna get beat up tonight. We thought it was coming, and we knew that Jey Uso was loving every single moment of it. Jey wanted that to happen. I think Jey and Sami don't get along, Um, Roman said he likes salmon and he wants salmon just to put on his shirt, and Sami Zayn did so, putting on the shirt, just because it kind of felt odd with Sami um, wearing an odd shirt where everyone else was wearing like matching Roman and the Usos and the Bloodline were matching, and Sami was the odd one out. But Sami got his shirt, but you can tell the look on Jay's face. Jay thought he was gonna beat him down, but it wasn't gonna happen right then and there. It's gonna be a point in time, not now, but I say within 2 to 3 weeks that you'll start seeing the bloodline attacking Sami. Sami does something wrong, so I guess Sami just right now in good spirits with the bloodline. The bloodline being strong as a strong, formidable team down the road. Speaking of that, we tell that Ricochet and Madcap Moss they got attacked by Soa and Sami Zayn when Ricochet and Madcap Moss was trying to see what why Sami was trying to join forces with the Bloodline. The Bloodline, so got what they had coming. So I guess we'll see eventually. We'll know that next week on SmackDown, Sami Zayn and Soa will team up to take on the Madcap Moss and Ricochet 1-on-1. So we'll see that match between them two sometime down the road. Speaking of that, um, the maximum male models, the New Day went against the male models. Male models are lost their match, but you can tell Max Dupree, Max Dupree was a little bit perturbed because Max Dupree felt like that they didn't do as well as they should have, and Max Dupree just walked off. As we seen the signs that LA Knight coming back, because you can tell Maximum Mons looked disheveled and looked like confused on what had happened. No, I think they just don't know what's going to go down yet, but we'll see. You can tell Eli. I don't know why they don't call him Eli Drake, but they will call him LA Knight on the WWE way. So LA Knight might be making a return some way down the road somehow. So we'll see that coming up in an instant minute. So we'll see. Also, too, SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan took herself to the extreme. Liv Morgan went against Lacey Evans. Liv Morgan waiting for her upcoming title match against Ronda Rousey. Liv Morgan looking forward to taking it to the limit to Ronda. The only way to do so, she had to take Lacey Evans out. Lacey Evans didn't put up a fight. She was just a filter. As Liv Morgan went over the top of the set up the table and placed Lacey through the table, and it just happened like that. And Liv Morgan sending a message to Ronda Rousey that she's gonna do whatever it takes to win her match at Extreme Rules. If she had to go extreme, she'll do what she had to do, and we'll see that match. Well, we can tell you this. Speaking of that, um, we can tell you that Shotzi and Raquel teamed up. Raquel went against her former tag team partner Dakota Kai in an impromptu match. And the match didn't go so well. Raquel lost her match, but she gained an ally in Shotzi. But the Raquel and Shotzi did what they did. Raquel won the match. But we can tell now, we can tell Raquel and Shotzi is going to be a threat to Bayley and Damage Control tag team titles. We'll say this: Damage Control Bayley will be returning to action on SmackDown next week. She takes on Shotzi 1-on-1. But we'll see that. Speaking of that, Hit Row was doing backstage, hosting a backstage party. Guests including Shinsuke Nakamura, the Street Profits, Natalia, Sonya, Drew Gulak, all were attendants for the party. And the Los Lotharios felt mistreated and felt disrespected. Los Lotharios Well, he's going against Hit Row next week at the Attack Hit Row in their own corner while they was clubbing. So you know how that go. You know how that be and stuff. So we'll see that coming up whenever Hit Row and them in the middle of it. So we'll see that. Speaking of that, Drew McIntyre, the man who should be undisputed WWE champion, um, laid the gauntlet, laid the challenge out that he wants to take on Karrion Kross at Extreme Rules in a scrap match. Every match in Extreme Rules has to be there's somewhat of a scream element in a scream matchup. We know that Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle in a fight pit match, that's gonna be the main event. That has to be, and then the scrap match stuff. We'll see that as well. Well, he didn't have to wait no longer after Karrion Kross came out of nowhere and Drew and Karrion were tied up into a scrap, giving you a preview of what could be possible be happening in that scrap match. Where Karrion, Drew was taking control in the beginning, being Karrion up with the scrap, whooping him down. But at the end, Scarlett tried to be a damsel in distress to help save her man and tried to be in between. But she led this. She hit a fireball into Drew's face, causing Drew to be damn temporarily blind, leading him to that way. It really it came so, but it could have been a little bit better. Scarlett should have been more actively involved, but she did at the end. So she kind of did her part in the end. So we'll see that. But Karrion took over from there. Karrion hit the scrap, leaving Drew down, and then applying that submission hold that he does on Drew, and they will fight in a scrap match. Karrion was down at ringside. Cost was not a cost, but attacked him before Drew's match, planting the seeds before Drew's championship match against Roman, and was a distraction. But Karrion Kross could be a serious threat to Drew and leaving Drew down and out. And we could see the possibilities of what's going to happen at the Scream Rules between Karrion Kross and Drew, and what that Scarlett has to play in this role after what she did with that fireball earlier tonight. So we'll see that, how that's going to be coming up and stuff. So we'll see that as well. So we'll see. Also too, what else happened? The monster among men, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman looking dominant. We tell you this that well, we seen it all on what's gonna happen and stuff with Braun Strowman, and I guess Braun Strowman sending a message that he's going to do whatever it takes to do what he has to do. He went against Otis in a match, and he dominated Otis. He dominated Otis in the big way. So I guess Otis and Braun ain't done with him yet, and this could be planting the seeds. Braun Strowman did that devastating power bomb and did it well, and hit the power bomb to do what he had to do. So we'll see that Braun Strowman, man, his word with that devastating power bomb, and he did it tonight. We'll see that as well. All right, and finally, the main event. The main event was for the tag team championships. The tag team titles was on the line as the Usos. If we got pictures of, do we have pictures of the Usos? Hopefully we do. We're trying to get put pictures. We can tell right here. This is Jay from earlier. Jay went against what he had to do in order to do what he had to do and stuff. And here's Jay. Well, we'll tell you this: the Usos won their match, and they won their match clean. And the Usos defeated the Brawling Brutes. The Usos, the Brawling Brutes put up a fight, but it wasn't to the end. And you see this scratch right here by what's his name, picking up both Usos, Ridge Holland picking up both Usos men. He was trying to do that move, and he flipped them both down. But at the end, the Usos regained their tag team titles. Well, still tag team champions. The Usos now unified WWE tag team champions. So the Usos on the road. So that would close SmackDown. The Usos well, we had to find that pit. With the pit? Yeah, the Usos right here. Regain Supreme, still tag team champions with Saw and Sami Zayn helping them. So we'll see that. All right, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. We're moving forward. We're moving forward quickly to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics. Now we can tell you this. SmackDown delivered this, the White Rabbit. Who is the White Rabbit? There's been indication that it could be Bray Wyatt. The White Rabbit coming and gave us Easter eggs, gave us hints and clues on what this White Rabbit does. Gave us a little indication of what the White Rabbit is doing. It looked like a video game mode. Like you see right here on this mode, you see arrows on this side, and you see fire. You see like a maze or something. So I don't know what this White Rabbit doing, but we have to wait and see. And a lot of people was pointing out that Bray Wyatt could be bringing his characters to life, like Abby the Witch, saying Abby the Witch could be Scarlett, and the bunny could be Carrion, which is weird, and saying that Braun Strowman could be the pig. There's a lot going on, and saying Dex Lumis can be the buzzard. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird, but it could be a true fact, but who knows? We'll see. Also, too, what Brandon Thurston was saying, pointing back out, saying that, quote, on his Twitter, and heard Triple H told people in the financial community that part of WWE's new creative approach is dropping Easter eggs that appeal to hardcore fans, or the White Rabbit playing off-air events, which some people tease to be the turn of Bray Wyatt. It seems like it could be, but it could be the possibilities of what's going on and how it could loom into that, loom into what's going on how that's going to be sooner rather than later. We'll see. So we'll see on that one. Plus, too, John Cena getting recognized, getting his world record, saying that John Cena granted the most wishes by 650 by any WWE star. John Cena granted double the more, so John Cena breaks his own wishes. So congratulations to the leader of the C Nation, John Cena, on this amazing feat and amazing accomplishment. Speaking of accomplishment, hardcore legend, the one and only Raven, who has been a fixture in Impact in his early days, is going to get inducted into this Hall of Fame. Raven being inducted to the Impact Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Raven, who spanned his championship run in Impact, WWE, and WCW. Who can forget Raven's match against Goldberg? That was a match right there amongst itself against Goldberg on Nitro. So that was a history of accomplished feat. Speaking of accomplishment in history, we just found out in the October 10th edition of Raw, the Generation X will celebrate 25 years. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, kind of like both executive vice president, will be headlining WWE Raw with a DX reunion. You can tell everybody from DX going to be reunited except badass Billy Gunn if they can make a trade or something. We'll see how that's going to play out. Speaking of that, we just found out that Bobby Fish has joined Impact Wrestling, and we heard rumors that Bobby Fish wanted the other members of Undisputed Era to join him and going back to WWE, but that's not possible because all three members are part of the Ramco and Kyle O'Reilly part of AEW. So we will see that until their contract come up. Now they'll probably get more push with Triple H, but this is what it is. But we'll see down the road. Plus, too, next week he has a busy schedule when he takes on Hit Row. I want to give a happy birthday to Angel Garza, celebrating his 30th birthday. So we celebrate his birthday, but next week he'll be in action. So we'll see that as well. To Saraya, known as Paige, who made her debut in AEW this week, saying that, quote, what she said about being at the stadium, being happier. Let's see, but I'm still worried and concerned if she's 100% clear of her leg problem. She's going to have to be a limited wrestler. She can't wrestle like she's going to. But we'll see coming forward how that's going to play out for her down the road. All right. That's going to do it for the Pro Wrestling Show this week. And someone said this right. Send us this. Billy Corgan, before we go. MJF trolling Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan, the NWA owner, performed for this night show. And Billy Corgan got other duties going on, but it really don't matter. And also, too, before we go, we just found out. This is breaking news. We're getting the rematch from Clash at the Castle. Sheamus will challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental title on the season premiere of SmackDown on November 7th. That's 2 weeks from tonight. So Sheamus gets one more round against Gunther. Sheamus do the unthankful and win the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. But we're gonna end it with that. We'll end it with the Usos retaining their tag team championship over the Brawling Brutes, Usos. I consider one of the best tag teams in WWE history. Doing so tonight. Well, thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. And we'll see you next week. With me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.